Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Tamika with the Y coming to you with another podcast episode. Today I wanted to kind of dive into something that I don't really talk a lot about, but I'm learning that it's more prominent than most people talk about, and that's mompreneurship and depression. And so today was one of those days for me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It was just a really emotionally taxing day for me. And I deal with this occasionally, maybe 3 or 4 times a year where it's just really, really bad. And so today it was it was interesting for me. So let me lead with this. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a doctor. I do not have a degree in any of this. Okay, honey. I went to Delgado Community College and University of Memphis, and honey, they didn't teach me nothing about depression. Okay, nor did they teach me anything about mompreneurship. But I am a mom. I am an entrepreneur, a hyperpreneur, a wifepreneur, mompreneur, every type preneur you could think of, right? That is I. And so I wanted to just kind of share with you guys um, my take on mompreneurship and depression. But before we get started, definitely want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Iyanu Organics. And for those that don't know, that is my hair care line where we are rooted in nature and designed for you. We have quite a few new products that are going to launch this year that I'm super excited about. So your girl has been busy. Dealing with the Yanu. Then, of course, we have our movies. We have our television series that we're getting ready to go into production for, and all of that. So, yes, so if you are looking for a clean hair care product, organic hair care, you definitely want to check out Ianu Organics. It's right there at the bottom. Definitely check out Ianu Organics. All right, so back to the topic at hand. So I've been uh, let's see, my oldest daughter is 14. So I've been a mompreneur for about 12 years. I got into my mompreneur journey by default. That sounds crazy, but it's the truth. I got into it by default because I lost my job. Didn't have it. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. I lost a job. I didn't have a job. My daughter at the time was 3, so 11 years. And I was like, I have got to figure out how to get some money, on welfare, food stamps, all of that. Had just broke up with my ex-husband at the time. Didn't have anywhere to go, no car, anything. Moved in with my parents, lived in their upstairs corner room, me and my daughter, and tried to figure it out. Couldn't find a job. No one, I just couldn't find a job, honestly. And so, because of that, I decided to, just try to get some type of government assistance just so that I could feed my daughter, right? Have a few extra dollars because she was in school at the time. And so it wasn't a lot, but when you have nothing, $30, $40 is a lot. And so her monthly tuition, she had got a scholarship even at 3 years old. She had got a scholarship to a really nice, really kind of pre-K, pre-4 school. And I only had to pay like $40 a month. But again, nothing was coming in. Therefore, I had nothing to go out. So I started a little business with doing social media management for small businesses. And so I was pulling in like $700 a month. But by the time you get, put gas, I was driving my dad's truck, my dad's Avalanche truck. I think it was like a 2010 Avalanche. And of course, that's a gas guzzler. And just, monthly toiletries and stuff like that, $700 wasn't much, but it was mine. And so that was my introduction to mompreneurship. And of course, things has gotten a whole lot better. But one of the things that as a mompreneur, as a full-time mompreneur, full-time mom, I have 3 kids. And I am married. I have my wedding ring. listen, I just decided to go live. This was one of those things, not go live, but I decided to just record this without any thought preparation. I have no makeup on, nothing, child. So take it for what it is. But anywho, and so going into this new vein of full-time mompreneurship, while being a full-time mom, while helping with homework every day, reading, one of my daughters was sick this past week and another one is sick today, food, got to make sure her cooking, and it can become very overwhelming. And a lot of times as moms and mompreneurs, we try our best to balance life, right? Because the one thing you don't want to happen is for your kids to grow up and their trauma was incited by my inability to be present, right? And so I try to incorporate my kids into almost everything I do. So like Iyanu, right? I have my baby girl, and we have named her as, president of the kids collection for Iyanu Organics. And so she is a part of that selection. My other daughter, she is my go-to person when I'm on set filming. When I'm directing, she is my go-to. I mean, if people who have been on set with us know, whether I'm directing a stage play, whether I'm directing a movie, short film, or television series, she is my go-to kid. And she will always be my assistant director. She will always be my script manager. She is my production baby. And then our son, he's an introvert, right? So he's like our technological kid. And so, but all of our kids, they participate in everything that we do. And so I'm intentional about that because I understand what it's like to not have a fully present parent, for the simple fact that they have to go to work, right? They have to pay bills. They have to take care of other siblings. And so that is kind of a part of life. But for the child, as a child, you don't really fully understand that. And so I always wanted to make sure that I incorporate my children into everything that I do, right? But also a lot of times we forget to take care of ourselves. We don't get enough sleep, right? We're literally stretching ourselves thin, working jobs, full-time entrepreneurship, whatever that, cooking for your family every night, washing clothes. I was telling my mother-in-law, I said, I start washing clothes on Friday and I'm not done washing clothes until Monday, right? This is every week. I mean, gotta have clean towels, right? But every single week, it's just my weekly routine. And then of course, grocery shopping and everything else. And so a lot of times as moms, in this space, in the entrepreneurial space, it is so easy to get so caught up in managing motherhood, managing your businesses, managing your 9 to 5, 8 to 5, that you fail to manage yourself. And so today was one of those days for me where the last few weeks have been very emotionally draining for me. We had some issues with a project that I was working on and some very draining issues. And I didn't really realize that. And then last year, 2023, I did like 4 projects back to back. January, from December 2022 to March 2023, I was in pre-production, post-production, and production for Ruin. And then while doing that, I'm also doing virtual rehearsals for a stage play that I directed and produced in Killeen, Texas in April. And then the end of June, we started filming Pretty Hurts. And then December, I produced Miss Scrooge, where right out of that, went right into prepping for the release, the Malco premiere for Miss Scroogeworth while going into pre-production for Toxic and writing a few other projects, and still, working with my students. Because I teach script writing. I teach writing script, stage plays, and books, literary. And so today was the first day I realized I have not taken a break in over a year. I was like, oh Jesus. Because I woke up this morning and the last few days, I've just been so uninterested in anything, right? I mean, absolutely nothing. I'm supposed to be prepping for my the Melco release for Miss Scroogeworth. I have not even, marketing has been like obsolete. And then I got my scripts for Toxic that I'm updating, and I realized today I felt like I had hit a brick wall because I have been going nonstop for almost 18 months. No, it's been longer than that. Now I think about it. So October 2022 to today, February 29th, leap year. And today it was like, I just didn't want to do nothing. I mean, nothing. Like I said, I go through these moments like maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and they're really, really draining. Not to the point where I feel like I'm going to harm myself or harm anybody else. That's not it. For me, it's more of a draining thing. And so I was talking to a really good friend earlier, and the person said, how often, what is your sleep patterns like? And I'm like, sleep? What is that? It's like, what is sleep? I might sleep 5 hours is 5 hours, 6 on a good day. And that's if I sleep the whole night through, And so just going through that, trying to figure out what that looks like for me. Like, how do I manage me? How do I manage my mental health, right? I had a therapist that I was going to, and then, so for those that don't know, I also have a full-time job. Let's start there. And so my employer changed our insurance plans. So the therapist that I was going to, unfortunately, did not fall underneath that insurance plan, and I have not been able to find another therapist. All the other therapists, and this is my previous therapist is a Black woman. I prefer to have a Black woman as a therapist, only because she can relate to some of the things that other ethnicities may not be able to relate to. And I haven't been able to find that because our insurance has a very small pool of therapists that we can choose from. And unfortunately, they don't look like me. So that's another thing. You're talking about going to therapy like every other week to like none at all. So like I said, it's been a lot going on. It's been a whole lot. And so what I am learning through my own personal experience, is that it is so important that I am intentional about taking care of me, right? And that's from an emotional standpoint. Of course, honey, I make sure I eat now. Let's get there, right? And I don't eat meat, so it's like, I know what to do from a health standpoint, right? I do need to increase my exercises and stuff like that. But from a health standpoint, I understand what I need to do. From a physical standpoint, I know what I need to do. From a mental standpoint, that's something totally different. And so from a psychological standpoint, that's different. And so as a mompreneur, I am fully aware that in this current moment, I am dealing with fatigue, exhaustion, and depression. Because a lot of times depression is attached to those things, I can't say that I'm depressed because I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm depressed because I haven't accomplished anything. That would be 100% false. But depression is attached to when you're not well from a mental standpoint, or psychological standpoint. When you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you're just not able to get it, right? When you're just not able to meet the demands of that day. Um, and for the last couple of weeks, I've been in that space, just like not being able to just get it done. And in many instances, it's just because I just didn't want to. Like, I just don't want to. I don't feel like it, right? And I think that we need to normalize being okay with just saying, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. If y'all hear voices in the background, that's my baby. She's in the kitchen with her granny and her dad and her uncle. So y'all probably will hear voices, and it's okay, honey. Mompreneur lifestyle. This is just what it is. But yeah, just normalizing, I don't want to do it. Normalizing, I don't feel like it. Being okay with saying that, because I'm a person where it's very difficult for me to say, number one, it's difficult for me to ask for help, right? Which I just realized, I just found out last week that that's attached to pride, which I had trust me, 2024 has been an eye opener for me, honey. I am learning so much about me. So that's the first thing. I have a tough time with asking for help. And that's because I've been burnt so many times by people who come on and say, I want to partner with you. I want to help you out. And then they turn into one or two things: either someone who's doing it so they can figure out how to compete against me, or someone who just really don't like me and want to know my business. Or number three, someone who really does want to do it, but they don't really know how. And versus them saying, hey, can you teach me? They'll attach themselves to what I have going on to learn. Now, that's not a bad thing, but lead with that, right? And so I've been burnt so many times, it's been difficult for me to ask for help. So I've learned how to do projects where I'm able to solely manage them, right? And I'll bring people in, volunteers and stuff like that. But I know bringing them in is like, okay, this is temporary. Don't get attached. And I have to remind myself of that, like, don't get attached, because I'm such a freely open person where it's very easy for me to get attached to people. But then at the same time, it's very easy for me to detach. And once I'm detached from a person, the attachment will never come. It's like, once I'm done, right? And so I'm learning how to properly manage that, because again, remember I said, I don't know how to ask for help. I'm extremely horrible with that. Number two is that not only do I not know how to ask for help, it's very difficult for me to share how I really feel, right? So I tend to be a person, I don't want to say a people-pleasing person, because I think that's too extreme. But I definitely teeter a little bit with that, depending on what's going on and who I'm talking to. But I definitely try my best to be gracious with people, sometimes overly accommodating. And a lot of times I'm burnt by that as well. And so it's difficult for me to express myself to people, right? It's difficult for me to ask for help. It's difficult for me. And because of those things, it makes it difficult for me to be able to intentionally take care of me, because I'm so busy trying to take care of everything, right? Every role, every line, every script, every prop, everything. And it's exhausting. I was so grateful and blessed to have a phenomenal team for when I did Miss Scrooge. That was my first time. And I've been in theater, film, and all that for about 14 years now. That was the first time in my entire career where I had a solid team. It was no mess. The cast was amazing. I mean, people weren't arguing, people weren't fighting. It was just flat out amazing. And that taught me, there are people that I can work with, right? But look how long it took to find those people. But when I tell you that those people they are in my heart forever. And so going into this next set of projects. And this is for other mompreneurs as well. I want to encourage you, as I'm encouraging myself, to be intentional about taking care of yourself. Sleep. If your body tells you to take a nap, girl, take a nap. All right. If your mind is exhausted, go off of social media. While I'm saying that, let me say this. Oh my God, I was telling my husband yesterday, I said, I'm sick of social media. Like, I'm so tired of it. And we have been groomed with this algorithmic policy that you have to post every day. In order for the algorithm to keep you on people's timeline, you have to post every day. You have to post twice, 3, 4 times a day. And when I tell you, I'm exhausted from it. And I told my husband, I said, I am tired. I'm so tired of social media that I really just want to like deactivate everything. Of course I can, because I have businesses, right? I have projects, I have things coming up, people that I'm communicating with. I can't do that. But I am in the process of just, hey, I'm 2-3 weeks, boom, I got to get off of it and just not to look at it, not see it, delete the app, whatever. You have to pull yourself from the this universal this universal group chat. Let's put it that way. You have to pull yourself away from this universal group chat, because what happens is that you start seeing things and you're seeing people like, oh, they're doing that, I want to do it. Or, oh, she bought that, I want to buy it. And you find yourself comparing yourself. And comparison is, I don't want to say a strong word as strong as demonic, but comparison is a version of death, right? And what I mean by that is that you start doubting yourself to the point where you lose yourself, right? You start comparing yourself to what other people are doing, and everything that you've accomplished doesn't matter anymore. And that's not good, right? It's not good. What you've done, who you are, where you are in this moment, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And I had to learn that, because I was the type of person where I was always comparing myself to other people, right? And I was like, oh, well, she's doing this, why can't I do it? Oh, he's doing this, why can't I do it? And I found myself constantly chasing after a carrot. It's like someone dangling a carrot, and you're going to follow that carrot around and follow it around, and you're never going to get it, right? Until one day I just had paused, like, I am not going to let society that continue to dangle this carrot in front of me. I am going to create my own path. I heard someone say, I think it was one night in Miami, I was watching that movie, and the guy that was playing the role of Sam Cooke said that I don't want a piece of the pie, I want the recipe. And that's how it was. It was like I was chasing after a piece of the pie when I had the capabilities of developing the recipe. And so when I realized that, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Right. And that's what social media is, this carrot of you can do better. It's this carrot of you got to continue to hustle. You got to continue to grind. You got to continue to do this because you got to get this perch. You got to get this accolade. You got to get this award. You got to get this new car, this new house, this new cell phone. And you're constantly chasing after the freaking carrot or the freaking piece of pie. You're so busy trying to get a piece of the pie that you don't realize you already have the recipe. And I had to get to the place where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And so this week was another one of those epiphanic moments where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So we're going to normalize taking care of ourselves, right? Number one, we're going to normalize taking care of ourselves. Number two, we're going to normalize saying, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not doing it. No, it doesn't service me. No, it doesn't service my business. It doesn't service my brand. It doesn't service who I am. So, number two, we're going to normalize saying, I just don't want to. And no, right? Almost the shortest word in the vocabulary is the word that carries the most freedom, and that is no. Number three, we're going to tell our children, let mommy take a nap. And it's okay. It's okay. If you got kids that can help out, now some of you guys may have some brand new babies, sleep when your babies sleep, right? But for those of us that have kids that are old enough to be semi-independent, honey, my daughter, I think it was last week before last, I was so tired, and I hardly ever take naps. I was exhausted. It was a Saturday, and it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Baby, I got her little iPad. I put that iPad on the bed right next to me. I told her, come sit down. She's 7, right? So she's good. She always go upstairs. Daddy, I'm hungry or whatever. So I had to sit right here with mommy. Mommy's going to take a nap because mommy is tired. I'm exhausted. And she sat there and I said, do me a favor. Can you watch mommy? Can you babysit mommy while I sleep? And so that's how I was able to kind of navigate around that. So we're going to normalize what? Normalize taking care of ourselves. Normalize saying no. And I just don't want to. Normalize incorporating our children as our partners, not just our children, but our purpose partners. And I wrote that in my book 3 Ps, Passion, Purpose, and Parenting. If you haven't gotten it, haven't read it, you can go to Amazon and purchase it. But what I talk about is incorporating our children, not just as our babies, but also as our purpose partner. My daughter just walked in the door. I'm trying to see what she's doing. Yes, Kyla.
I just had to get a water.
Okay, close the door. So those 3. And also number 4, taking a break from our businesses, right? Just get off social media, take a break, do a 2-week vacation. Even if you do a staycation, excuse me, whatever that looks like, take a break. Just pull away. When I tell you that, and like I said, this is some things that I'm learning. I just started learning today. But mompreneurship is so rewarding, being a mompreneur, because not only are you building a brand, but you're also building children. You're building little small versions of yourself. And it's so amazing. I was looking at my daughter the other day. I was like, oh my God, there's a mini me. And I have 2 daughters. And I have learned to be intentionally present for them. And if you feel that you're kind of short-tempered or your patience is running a little thin, I was going through that earlier this week, and I sat my daughter down because she said something. I was like, "Can you just sit down, please?" And I don't holler at my kids. I don't, I'm learning. I'm trying to do the soft parenting thing. Child, yes, coming from a not so soft parenting to becoming a soft parent, and so. My daughter was a little upset with me, my 7-year-old, and we were working on something, and she was working on her math, and I was trying to explain to her the math that they're doing in 1st grade is ridiculous. Let me just throw that out. But we were working on some of her math, and she was getting a little agitated. And so I had to go to the kitchen because I was making some tea or whatever. Anyway, and so I said, well, just sit down. And so she got upset. She was really upset with me. And she finished her homework. She went and got into bed and went to sleep. And so she woke up this was actually last night. I think about it. She woke up this morning. I woke her up for school, and I sat with her in her bed, and then we just talked, And I was like, "You're probably going to be a little late for school this morning, but mommy just wanted to talk to you." And I wanted her to understand that mommy loves you. I am here for you. And it was more for me than her, and she could probably would beg to differ. But for me, it's difficult. I don't like my babies being upset with me. And I know, honey, she's only 7, child. Now I got a 14-year-old. That's a whole nother topic for conversation. We can talk about that next week. But I always, even my 14-year-old, she's not feeling well right now. And she was in the kitchen. I said, do you need anything from me? She said, a hug. Because I just walked up to her and I just held her. That was it. No questions asked. No, why you want me to hold you? No. I'm right here. And I just sat there and I held her. That was it. It was because sometimes it doesn't. As moms, we want our children to have the best, right? And so we work hard to be able to provide them with certain things. And I'm that parent, like I brand new boots, just got us some boots and all kind of stuff. If I have it to do it, I'm gonna do it. But I have to realize that material things are great, but the sight of you, a hug, holding them, helping them with their homework. We have a dance party, me and my kids, at least once or twice a month. And we just we go in the living room, we turn the music up, and honey, I let them stay up as long as they want to. I'm like, we're just gonna dance and have fun. I don't care what day of the week it is. This is our day. And we play probably about 30 songs back to back to back to back. And we're dancing and having fun probably for about 3 hours. And then as they start getting sleepy, we start winding the music down. And that's our thing. This is what we do every single month. But this is just our time. And so in the state of all of the busyness, the businesses, right? The jobs, the clients, the projects, everything, your presence is what matters to your children the most. PS5s, that's cool. Jordans, Nikes, Reeboks, Adidas, Converse, all those different things, great, right? Balenciagas, great, all of those things. Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton, Prada, and the list goes on and on and on and on. All of those things are great, but your presence is priceless. You cannot put a price on presence. And so while you are being intentional about taking care of yourself mentally, be intentional about taking care of your children emotionally and mentally, right? Our children are many versions of us. And so I started dealing with depression at a very young age, at like 12, 13 years old. And so because of that, I'm able to not necessarily pinpoint it, but I know how to have those conversations with my children. If I see them starting to, I'm like, yep, let's talk. Let's watch a movie. Let's create something together. We're working on a project. Hey, how do you feel about this? This is the scene I want you to help me to direct, blah, 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 all those different things. But it's allowing them to understand that I see you and you're not fighting alone, right? And so being a mompreneur in the hustle and bustle of life, everything is going on, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, and everything in the middle, indifferent, however you want to put it. Everything is going on. Imagine what we're dealing with, and then look at what our children are dealing with, right? And so many times, I've canceled rehearsals, right? I've canceled going to events for my children. I don't care if I have to cancel going to an event. I do not care. My children matter. People tell me all the time, oh, you don't really go to a lot of events. No, I do not. Because my children need me. And they're the ones that need me the most, right? If my child needs me, I'm not going. If I'm tired, I'm not going because I need me too, right? And so we have to just be intentional. Start normalizing no, saying no. Start normalizing, I don't want to. Start normalizing taking care of yourself. Honey, take a break. Take a nap. Start normalizing enhancing our sleeping skills, right? All of those different things. Because like I said earlier, our children need us, but honey, we need us too. I need me. I got a whole lot of stuff going on. So I have to be intentional about just taking care of me, right? Go to the doctor. Go get your mammograms, girl. What you doing? Why are you waiting so long? What are you talking? Go get your mammogram. Go get your pap smear. Go to your PCP, right? Get your physical. If I say it this way, our children need us. We only get one body. So if we are not intentional about taking care of this body, what are we telling our children? Not only what are we telling them, But do we want our children to lose us as small kids? No. We want our children to. I was telling me and my baby was talking. She said, "Mommy, how old are you gonna be when you die?" Like we just have, she's 7, so she want to know what kids, babies come from, everything. How you had me, where they came from, all that. So one day she said, "How old are you gonna be when you die?" I said, "I'm gonna be over." I said, "I'm gonna be 100 and something." She said, "You are?" I said, "Yes, I am." And I want to grow till I'm 100. I want to live till I'm 100, 102. I can see my grandbabies, my great grandbabies, but I got to take care of the body that God gave me. So I got to go to sleep. I got to take naps. I got to take mental health days. I have to go and talk to a therapist. I have to make sure that I am whole, right? Not just rich, not just successful, not with a wall full of certificates and accolades and ribbons and trophies. None of that matters if you're laying on your deathbed. None of that matters if you're in the hospital with tubes coming out of your body. None of that matters if you're on a ventilator. None of it matters. So you have to take the moments that you have been given and blessed with and use that to enhance who you are, build who you are, equip who you are, and also create who are you becoming. And so once we understand the importance of who we are and who we are to others, once we value ourselves, then we can be who we need to be or who we were purposed to be to others. And so as I get ready to close this episode of Mompreneurship and Depression, let's remember that you matter, right? You matter, you are needed, and you are wanted. So if you are dealing with depression, if you are dealing with uncertainties, find a therapist, right? Find someone who you can talk to, someone who can pour back into you, because as mompreneurs, we pour out so much. And many times we pour till we have nothing left to give. And even when we don't have nothing left to give, we're still pouring. And so you have to be able to have someone that's going to pour back into you, replenish you, help you to revive yourself, rejuvenate your mind, rejuvenate your soul, rejuvenate your spirit, rejuvenate your body. All of those things are necessary in order to be a successful mompreneur. It's not enough to just say, "Oh, girl, I got 3-4 businesses." 3-4 businesses do not matter when you're dead. It doesn't matter when you're laid up in the hospital. It doesn't matter when your children don't respect you. None of that matters if your children don't love you, right? If your children are growing up trauma filled, right? So you have to be intentional about creating the life you want to see now. And a lot of times it starts with just taking care of yourself, right? And so I want to encourage you, take a step back, take a break, take a nap, girl. Go take a nap. Replenish, refocus, restructure, rejuvenate. Because the world needs you. The world needs you. And in order for you to fully become exactly who you're supposed to be, you have to be whole. Whole in your mind. You got to be whole in your heart, whole in your spirit, whole in your soul, whole in your body. And that takes normalizing again. Normalizing being intentional about taking care of yourself. Normalizing saying, "No, I don't want to do that." Normalizing being present in the present, right? Because your presence matters. Because, honey, if we're going to do this thing called life, we might as well do it well. This is your girl, Tamika with the Y, coming to you with another episode, in today's episode about mompreneur and depression. I hope it has blessed you. I hope it helps you. And I hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to like, tag, comment, and share. Don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms. Let me go ahead and put that up too. Follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and something else that I'm on, but it doesn't even matter, honey. Those top 4 that I'm on, you can find me there. Babe, close the door, Kyla. And this picture right here, that's my Mompreneur picture. So I'm in the process of launching, not in the process, I am launching a Mompreneur group called the Mompreneur Mogul Academy. And my goal is to teach moms who are current mompreneurs or aspiring to become a mompreneur, teaching you guys the entire game of what it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur while being successful as a mom. And that's why I'm doing this, because I got to tell you guys what I'm going through. So as I'm going through it, you guys know some of the curves the detours, the distractions to bypass. And so I'm super excited about our Mompreneur Mogul Academy. And I hope to see you in our group. More details will come soon. Also, we have auditions coming up for Toxic, which is our web series, as well as our Melco premiere of Miss Scroogeworth, our highly anticipated holiday musical production that we just did this past December. And we're going to do it this upcoming holiday season. And so we're going to premiere that at Melco Paradiso. More details to follow about that. I think that's it. So yes, if you are interested in purchasing tickets for Miss Scroogeworth, make sure you go to www.theaterinblack, honey. You know, a little twang to it, honey. But that's the website right there. So make sure you go to theaterinblack.com and purchase your tickets. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Also, if you do want to be a part of the auditions for Toxic, go to my website right there, www.iamtamika.com, and you can go there and sign up for the auditions. We will have virtual auditions for those that do live out of town. We've been getting quite a few calls from people out of state and out of the country, which has been freaking amazing. So we're excited about that. And I think that's it, guys. If you want to be a guest on the Tamika with a Y podcast, also you can go to my website and complete the guest form. And I cannot wait to interview you. And don't forget to like, tag, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe to our podcast, my podcast, on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, honey, wherever there's podcasts, you're going to find me. Boom, right there. Let's keep it simple. Lastly, let's give a huge shout out to our partners, Vibranium Consultants. Vibranium Consultants specializes in managing your marketing, social media marketing, your physical marketing, digital marketing, as well as your websites and all that other beautiful stuff. Also, Curry Brothers Publishing, which is a Black-owned, Black brand publishing company. So if you have a book that you would like to get published, you definitely want to reach out to Curry Brothers Publishing. And also, as we are going into the spring season, honey, Inflatable Clubhouse is at your beckoning call. So reach out to inflatableclubhouse.com for your upcoming party needs. They service parties, graduations, proms, weddings, baby showers, family reunions, and any other events that are outside. They are more than happy to service you. And last but not least, our main sponsor, Iana Organics. Again, we are rooted in nature and we are created directly for you. Now, if you also want to donate to any of our projects that we have coming up, you are more than welcome to go to our Cash App, my Cash App type on stage, and donate to our Toxic project, our Miss Scroogeworth project that we are planning to take on tour this upcoming holiday season. And we have about 4 other projects that we're working on. So you are more than welcome to donate to honey, our Cash App. Yes, honey, because we do take coins and we do not take EBTs. All right. Okay. And I think that is all. All right, guys. It's your girl Tamika with the Y, as always. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Smooches. and deuces. I love you guys so very much. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.